It's you again. What is it? Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be
A whore, huh? A lot of that going around lately. From the mouths of distressed men. Whatever the case, you've hit a nerve.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic...
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
She wasn't raped. The witnesses' statements were very clear.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her.
His hands become fists.
And you went and pushed her.
Titus Hardy!
Success. Titus backs off. Goddamn, no one tells you to.
Everard personally sent me to take care of this. If this...
Someone has to rush in to break the tension.
Look, Copper. We know that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
Another apocalyptic actor in town?
You don't care about evidence.
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the...
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to what's on it, we call it the door gun a mega meg. You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb. You RCMR. We have machines. We're in logistics.
Understood? You've listened in on the...
Since way before the...
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this?
Yeah, play it with your ass.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday. Yeah, you do that.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with you push, command set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds.
This isn't Revachon. This is a fucking village. I can almost see...
The harbor. That's the son of a...
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier... Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice... I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the couch. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrete on your porter reel.
End of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Still,
there's more going on here than we know.
One of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. A friend of his? A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. Or maybe Kohoy is just merc talk. I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This...
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder.
She puts her. This does not surprise.
Did he? I never said he was a good man. Or that he had good... where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via Dean.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was...
A memory surfaces in her tired neo.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style? He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. No, I'm pretty sure he did all those things, and then had to internalize them to keep on living. Until they just... Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like he was like the Seminese conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast it.
When he said he was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. It sounded like a...
Well, maybe I pieced him. Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
She wouldn't. She doesn't have the full Hoi in her.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her, that she could quell the rage in such a being.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Like, for example...
Actually, officer...
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it...
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is...
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was Occidental, not Mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes.
Did that bring you...
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranje.
Sex. No love for Muta Oranje? Wasn't he a soldier?
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly...
A flash of rage comes over you. The words have already left your mouth.
Had he passed that test, we wouldn't have gotten along. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too. He was 42.
42? Are you sure?
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago.
We were slightly off, then. Thank you for clearing it.
The adversary one.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly.
He had a combat wound?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his...
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. Oh.
It's clear she liked it.
Quite a lot, yes. Sure. Service history. It was How? Imagine him lying in bed. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, and so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world. Oh, yeah. No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Seminine Islands, and on other islands too. All of the islands. After this, it is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're... Why do you ask?
Just have her answer the question. Don't give explanations.
I don't think he enjoyed dying, officer. He had too much...
Everything checks out here. It's all A-OK. Good answer. No, it doesn't check out. That's a strange thing to suggest. The lady is as fair and just.
It very well... What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. There. She momentarily lost control over straight back gut.
Of course I do.
Do you feel guilty about...
Among many other things, yes. I could have done something. There's always something he can do, right? Ask me something.
The lieutenant. All right, let's see where this is going.
Cool. A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol?
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
Good for you.
What do you think it will take?
I don't know how a semen sample works, officers. How many days after intercourse?
This is one of her maneuvers. The others are fast asleep. What? Huh? The truth? All the world's a stage. Aren't we all just actors?
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I don't believe it. I've never...
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully
There'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place. Fat chance, but you can still do your part.
She throws you a conspiratorial glance.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, this place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring...
You finally made it, haven't you? People point. Where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating? You are very dangerous, my friend. Dangerous and cool.
Yes?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. While in any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation?
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours. Exactly. But what?
I've kept my eye on the Communers. Even tried to get to know one. It's a mystery I'm already invested in. Which one of them, if any, could organize? Okay. I thank you for sharing that much with me. In any case, you've held up. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation to...
The words bloodbath sound cold in...
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of River...
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor. They were dispatched after
Every worker...
a member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of... Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to... It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal.
What is the nature of this?
Whether to execute one, some, or all.
It will be all of them. The decision is already made.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before... If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute...
They would have to.
The Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be...
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty. These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable. As I said, a bloodbath. Many bleak scenarios have already come true. nameless. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors.
Down a deep...
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however.
Meaning they're used to operating in war.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminoles Islands. Countries that don't... I wouldn't go as far as to use that term, detective. Yes.
Feels like there's a good response here.
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of...
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not. I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some the remaining contractors. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge...
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got there. That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the Colonel's remaining... If you mean, did I see him alive?
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her...
Liked is a bit strong. He was a most charismatic... Lely, his service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well.
What would you say was his eye color? Did he...
She closes her eyes.
I can't remember.
That's all right, then. Anything...
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say...
This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. And Classier also mentioned it, I believe.
He was, Occidental, I think. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of... You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiot. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That may be so. I still have...
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate...
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands...
Your concern may be appearances. Ours...
That would afford a good vantage point.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have...
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob.
They don't report their progress.
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a
5 days, not more.
It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else, of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute.
It was taken with a frigate not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between... I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters. Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dol. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of...
Where is he now?
The times have changed. Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese...
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor. And these are no ports. I can understand.
Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Ptolemaeus Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in Martinez, looking into Krenel. He writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshot.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways. Just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. His platoon members? The other contractors, though I...
It could go this or the other way. Challenge accepted. I say we do it.
Do what you have to do, Detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security, but
We will be careful, ma'am.
Is there anything else I can help you with? You have?
Finally, time to choose sides.
Of course, Detective.
The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not...
Don't fall for it. It's a ploy to get you talking. The honey mouth. Tell her she'll like you for it.
Weird. Oh no. One of the positive things, which isn't to suggest our talks constitute corporate espionage. Even if they did, it would be fine. But they don't, since you logged the money as a donation, and this is clearly just... Oh.
The lieutenant looks at you. He's able to contain the anger and... When I said, be wacky, I didn't...
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell...
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced... Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Of course, Detective. Should something come up later? Until then, is there anything I can... By love, you did.
Fast. Observe.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is... What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
You hear someone walking around inside. The walking stops abruptly. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
Let's go. We don't have a reason to.
Later then, entering this door seems a physical challenge. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk, no reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deep. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. This door has been closed with a padlock. This door has been closed with a padlock. But what are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock. This door has been closed with a padlock. The chalk drawn, the shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock.
After you, detective.
That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retain to symbolize the top. Also, some social democrats were all because white is the color of peace. Gone. Gone is the glory of hope. A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Marzov.
The white star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting. He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to like him. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology. Whoever lives here definitely shares your enthusiasm. There aren't many communists around, not after.
The lieutenant raises a brow.
Thank you for sharing this wonderful opinion on human sex. There aren't many communists around, not after.
A plaster cast bust depicts a shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid energy bill is attached, threatening to cut off the electricity. It's addressed to Mr. Uno de Reuter. Snip. The cutter goes through them like dead leaves. Don't let the quiet fool you. The beast is in.
I know there's no stopping you, but let's at least make.
A phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Right next to it, in plain.
Good.
The minuscule amount of amphetamine doesn't interest the lieutenant in the slightest. He listens instead to something. You pocket the bottle as if it were the most natural. Blast it before you face the beast. Derui. bundle of clothes heaped on the bed, a stained parka, some towels, and a duvet. Something underneath. It doesn't give a shit that you're a cop. Stop your hand. It's not too late. No one's going to blame you for backing out. You don't have to do this. Your hand touches a greasy duvet covered in cigarette burns and ketchup stains. You hear a you see a 60-year-old, fat, red-headed man passed out from... You don't have to take him down. He's already...
I'm afraid it is. Look, it moves.
A groan rises from the man's throat, dry like a death rattle. He's trying to say something in it.
Well, judging...
The lieutenant's right. The man's unwashed hair bears a... There's still plenty to be scared of here. Just not what you thought.
I think he's still quite bad. I mean, this man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but...
A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty...
Can't you tell? It happens to exceptionally committed substance abusers. They fall asleep with their eyelids still open. Not a pretty sight. Look, he's trying to communicate.
The aging alcoholic is still there, breathing. The air in the room is stale. The man... The aging alcoholic is still there, breathing. The man... The aging alcoholic is still there, breathing. The man... The aging alcoholic is still there. The man groans once again, but his tongue keeps failing him. And then it dawns upon you. Pigs. He's trying to... Are you going to let a semi-conscious degenerate disrespect you? His hand falls back on the bed, limp.
At least he got to say his piece. What is there to do? We could turn him on his side so he doesn't choke on his own vomit. But we could take him to Remedy or Saint-Baptiste, but he doesn't have... They don't do charity for people who are trying to kill themselves. Besides...
The pile of blankets grunts miserably. The door has braved the elements for decades. The copper nails, the royal lion, Guillaume's kitten. This knocker will... Someone is moving around in the apartment. You hear the water being turned off, and no answer. The key stops midway in the lock. The tenant's key is in the... The lieutenant looks first at the door, then back at you, then signals you to...
That already defeats the point, doesn't it? Let's get out of here.
As you turn to leave, you hear footsteps on...
We should leave and go talk with Evrard. Tell him what happened, that we couldn't open the door.
You hear someone walking a poor community.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have...
Let's go.
Later then,
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my...
this woman's health is failing her. There's not much to do.
I'm fine. Fine.
You're still worried.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman? I'm no one. Just, if you can call it living. I've a little... It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my...
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the cold room.
Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here. Don't you worry. Pea-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martinez.
Oops.
I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name.
Yes. I know who you mean.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying.
What's he in trouble for? Talk? He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony.
Ask away, policeman. The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut.
She really doesn't like those nut jobs. Bad blood.
People come and go. I don't... No one lives there. It's been empty. Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in. Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a police. Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and Oh, that one is a scientist. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. The symbol of what now? Ah, all I know about politics is that it's brought us more harm. I don't want to talk about DeWitt addicts, all of them. And sometimes I hear they don't like me cleaning behind them.
So she doesn't. Not after that. It didn't get physical. She heard.
We saw unpaid utility bills.
No one likes them in this building. It's only because of the kids I don't like talking about those people. The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say.
She mumbles some kind. A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles. A former architect stands before a slice of window. A room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers. Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture.
Excuse me?
Scare them. Suspected. There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official.
Oh, come on.
That was smart.
satisfied. My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to—
Boy, there are a lot of different keys. Her voice is really cheerful, despite her
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too? Very well, but please make it quick. I need to be back in La Delta in an hour. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place. It was some kind of a moribund old man, but that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry. Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the— And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close— A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone.
Oh, it irks her. The incompetence.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it. These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million— I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. And a few—
It's as if they're real wizards, able to resurrect dead realists.
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have— Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. Of course.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden. Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. Yes, well,